Hello, ladies. This week's lesson is on 1 Peter 1, 10 through 12. We have the lesson 4 passage in front of us. The first thing I went ahead and did is try to identify my main clauses and also identify the Trinity in this passage. We'll start with the Trinity. We see that we have the Spirit, we have the Spirit of Christ, we have He, we have Christ, we have the Holy Spirit. I didn't underline Spirit. Okay. So basically what I just did, or what I'm going to do next is in this box, is just write down what I learned about the Spirit. And it says that the Spirit is of Christ. And I may not understand exactly what that means, but I'm going to go ahead and write it down. Then it says the Spirit of Christ within them was indicating as He, back to what was just said before, the Spirit was predicted the sufferings of Christ. Because of course it also wouldn't make sense that Christ predicted the sufferings of Christ. It was the Holy Spirit. It was the Spirit within them indicating He predicted the sufferings of Christ. So we learned that the Spirit was predicting. We also learned that the Holy Spirit was sent from heaven, which we also learned in the Gospel of John previously. In John 15, it says that Jesus said He would send the Holy Spirit, that the Father sent the Spirit to Christ, and Christ sent the Spirit. So that's why in our doctrinal statement, as a Christian, we believe that the Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son. So in that way, the Spirit is of the Father and the Son, the Spirit of Christ. So when it says the Spirit of Christ, it's just talking about the Holy Spirit. And we know that from the Gospels. With our observation for general observations, we have some repeated ideas. We have this idea of salvation, grace, and good news. So I went ahead and salvation, grace, and gospel. Okay? Similar ideas, not the exact same repeated word, but as to the salvation, the prophets who prophesied of the grace. And then we learn later it was announced to you through the gospel. Those are all synonyms, so I put them in the same color. We also have this idea just in this paragraph about searching, inquiring, predicting. And so you might want to make that a different color. In this, we have searching, inquiries. You can even do indicating, predicted, revealing, revealed. Some of you may have even added announced, and that would be fine also, because again, you're looking for ideas. We know that prophets and prophecies are mentioned in this. We also see similar thematic words such as sufferings and glories, again, that we can add to possibly our big picture. We have our whole text here, and we have sufferings, which I'm doing in a red-orange color, and I'm doing glories with a blue cloud, and glory type words such as revelation and glories and other honorable or inheritance words or things that are going to bless us in the future. We also see, I wanted to point this out, in all three paragraphs, we have salvation ready to be revealed in the last time. In this salvation, we see a connection here. In this salvation, you greatly rejoice. As to this salvation, So we see that salvation is also a repeated theme now each time in these last 3 paragraphs. That could be something that you would write down as a repeated word. Other repeated words, just in this paragraph, I put things actually, because it says which things, or these things which, or things into which angels long to look. Questions I have, or observations. I see that salvation is equated with grace. I see that the prophets made careful inquiries of both the person and the time of Christ. And I ask a question, maybe, what prophets is Peter referring to? What did these prophets say about the sufferings of Christ? What did the prophets say about the glories of Christ? The angels, why are the angels brought up? And what are they longing to look, or what are they looking at? And how would this encourage suffering believers? So those are just some of the questions I might have in my general observations.